All right. C1x Updates, episode 12 or 13, I think. Um, did a little bit of work since the last video. So this is what we got right now for our deep stats logging. I don't remember if I had this stuff up yet or if I didn't. But I did do some tying in for the calculations here. This is going to be like a composite wheel showing strengths and weaknesses of different shot types. I started to create a new set of calculations and a new map to tie all the data into for this view, and then realized that, everything that I needed was already being supplied with this breakdown. So that's what we have currently. I went through earlier today, made a whole bunch of notes on just improvements to make for each of these graphics. We're going to leave these as is for now. I'm going to try and start with these. And for some of this I'll be doing, some of it I will be leveraging ChatGPT pretty heavily. To start with here, where do we, that's painting arc text. Okay. Draw a circle, segments. Let's go all the way up here. So the first thing that I would like to do is I want to get rid of fairway percentage and I want to put it in the middle. That's what I'm going to aim for at least. Wrap, center, misses, data, angle, fairway, misses, raw, ring, usage, segment ring, fairway ring. And this is all in a stack. Okay. So then what I should be able to do here is comment this out. That should give me just just those 3 rings. We're gonna update all of these, 56, 56, 56. So that is our 3rd ring. Ooh, I did have miss graphics in the center. I forgot about the misses. I have room to put it in the middle regardless though. So I think that I am largely okay with this. So let's try, we'll throw it here first. Let's go text, fairway, percentage, text, fairway, percentage, and then percentage just fairway. Yeah, that's okay. And then let's wrap these 2 in a column. Refractor, wrap with a column. Let's see what that gets me here. Up top, okay. Trying to align, so they should be aligned in the center anyways. I guess maybe this is taking up, so main axis alignment, center. Okay, so that moves it. This graphic is not being shown, so that is something I'll need to dive into a little bit. Yeah, I think those are showing properly. Definitely taking up more room that I would like. All right, we put fairway percentage in the middle. I am going to go, got about an hour in me today. I wanted to make the rings a little bit bigger anyways. Build, wrap, alignment, children, column. Gauge size. How do I determine gauge size? Is that all the way up here? That's miss graphic. Context. Data usage. It must be from way up here. It's getting passed in. Okay. Double gauge size. I don't think I actually am passing it in. Because what I call this from the widget factory here. Yeah, we're only passing the map. I have a layout builder though, right? So here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna go away. This is gonna go away because it is never getting passed as an argument. All of these things are using gauge size. Oh, do I not have a layout builder? I was actually pretty confident that I did. Maybe I can just do this. One of these has got a layout builder in it, right? For sure. For sure. And then what, at the end of the wrap, I gotta throw this in there. This gets this. Body might complete. Oh, does this needs to be a return? No issues down there. Okay. And so then here we need a final. Widget width is equal to constraints dot max width. Yep. And then we're gonna go final gauge size. Oh, let's spell it right. Gauge size is equal to widget width times 0.48. Oh. Why did that happen? Gauge size. Wrap. Creates a wrap layout. This is my issue. 2. That makes sense. All right, let's go 4, 6. Let's go widget. How much room am I really gonna have here? Is this enough? 0.46. I should always have room when I do that. Okay, that looks good. Run spacing, I do want more there though too. So let's kick that up to 15. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a start. So bigger rings. Now for ring thickness. I would like for them to be thicker. Ring, where do I build the ring at? Down here somewhere, right? Ring, here we go. Ring painter, center, arc radius, base radius, center, from circle, border width, border radius, marker. So this is the thing that's drawing the whole ring. What is drawing the thickness of it? Center, radius, arc radius, pi over 2, sweep. Is it width getting passed in? Is the usage ones actually thicker? Like, what happens if I make this 30? Nothing? Nothing is happening. Okay, so that is doing something. It was at 16. Oh, and so what I assume it is expanding down, but the issue is that, yeah. The issue is that the other rings inside of it are covering it up. How much thicker do I want it to be, I guess? Maybe that's the more appropriate question. What, I guess I just have to reduce the size there. Like, what if we just kick them up to 20? So then this would become 10. Or no, that stays as 8. Minus 28. Where was that coming from? So this was 16. Let's try 36. All right, and then this one was 56. So I think we need to double this again. So we're going to make this 72. Kick that up to 20. Yeah. There is still, my math isn't quite right. There is still a little bit of an overlap there. Just barely. $18 seems to be the number. If we kick that down, do I want usage to actually be bigger? Is that a... I don't hate it. All right, we got thicker rings. Adding a cap to it. This one I have to remember here. Paint, foreground paint. Offset center, radius, draw arc, start sweep, foreground paint. Oh, here we go. Stroke cap, round. Well, that's why I was getting rid of it, I guess. But at the same time, if I get rid of that center line, it is probably fine. Do I want to get rid of the center line? I do feel like, what did I do over here? They have a nice faded background color to them. I mean, I do like that. I do like that. All right, this I think is going to be a great one to give to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, this widget draws rings for me that are rounded, have a border. Do I draw the middle line in that code too? I do. Have border lines around each ring and have a center line drawn at roughly, to change this, that all rings have a rounded cap, all rings have a border around the ring themselves and not a separate circle. Border stops where the ring does. Get rid of the 12 o'clock limit. I also want the full rings. I also want each ring to have a background that is faded, that is a faded color of that ring, and is a full circle. So, for example, if usage is our ring is 30%, the bordered ring would go to 30%, be a full circle around 100% of the ring underneath usage. That would be a color of that ring. I feel like I was confusing myself there, but we'll see what it can give me here. I'm trying to keep it a little more consistent with what I already had. Yeah. Almost. I want the border to wrap around the entirety of the progress of the ring, including ends, not just around the outside. And then we'll have to do the same thing for the segmented ring. Doesn't the border go around the ends of each ring like next? right, let's find out. Let's find out. Close. All right, come on. Give me that border. Give me that border. There we go. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. The text isn't quite centered, I know that. And then we need to do the same thing for the segment ring painter. Segmented ring painter. I want you to do the same thing to this widget. Keep the segments as is, but apply the borders and background. Exact same manner as what you just did. Okay. That is a unique issue. When the rings are at 100%, the ends borders look goofy. Keep from happening. Segmented ring painter. Let's go replace this. What did I have before? An overlap there. Project. What just happened? It was working. There we go. So then I guess the last question is going to be, is full circle what does this line need to be? Make it so that anything over 95% values to true. Yeah, it's not going to help me there. So the way that I did this on the previous rings is that they just were never allowed to show 100%, and up to a certain percent, maybe it was 95, maybe it was something else. Like, they would just get to the point where it was touching. And that is kind of what I need to happen here. But and I don't know, I guess maybe we tackle this one first. This widget. Okay. Yeah, so nothing should have changed with what I had here. But what do I do about that? I guess here's what we can do. Very first end of the first segment gets a border around the cap. Other ends should be borderless. To only draw I guess what happens then if you can see what it looks like. Yeah, like there definitely needs to be some overlap. Okay. But is the straight line okay. Which this is basically just going to be what I had already. Let it know that it made a mistake. Okay, because in principle, score should always be full, right? Yeah, I won't say this is ideal, but it could probably be worse. Now, we need to upward by 20% of its height. That shifted back down. Man, it does look weird with the, ugh. All right, background. Way to make it so that only the second is round, first one is. I should have stopped it there. Update this. The second border does not get drawn if the yeah, okay. Copy. Go away. That's the code you just gave me. The start of each ring is still rounded, and the bordered caps at the end of each ring shouldn't be rounded or curving back into the ring. That's that. Okay, hopefully this does it. Hopefully. Did nothing happen? Literally nothing is changing. Again, below is the code you gave me. For each ring, the borders we start are but the rings themselves are still around it. Fix that. The end caps for each ring shouldn't be rounded and are, but the borders are still going direction. Okay, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Clockwise is true, so what happens if I set that to false? Oh. Like, I guess if I just scrap that block of code, it's kind of annoying that it's not overly consistent with what I had previously, but all right. I'm gonna call the rings good for now. They are thicker, at least. We have the backgrounds, which look good. Yeah, I don't hate it at the moment. Miss graphics. What is going on there? Miss graphic. Combined map, high left. Expanded, combine all. Let's start with this. Print misses. Why is that what's getting passed? That's not what I want. Are my misses elsewhere looking bad too? %0 fairway hits for all of this? All par threes. So I should have 3 fairway hits on 2, 4, and 6. Was it only with backhands that I hit the fairway? That's not crazy, I guess. Okay, so the question is, why is that what misses is getting passed as? Release angles map. Where should I return icon? That's short. Let's print release angles map. No, I don't want that. Let's go up here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. All right, and reset. Deep hole breakdown map. All right, here's what I'm getting. The misses do look terrible. Why do the misses look terrible? What's happening? I was printing it there too. This breakdown map. Is that how I wanted that to be broken out? Is there anything that I actually want to be broken out that way? This breakdown graphic. Putting. Average miss, plot miss. Yeah, that is not what I want. Okay. I wasn't aware that this was not working as expected. All right, so oops. Let's grab this. Let's go to a new chat. The below function is mostly working as I need it to. Exception to this is, oops. Well, no, hold on. That's returning all shot data. This is my issue. Function is intended to parse a string of misses. Comes in, it has the below structure. Function currently just takes after miss in a string. Strings. I need the function to ignore the in this string after those. Example above, I would want short and release angle added to the list and returned. Okay, now we try it. Maybe that fixes all of the issues. That one's got a miss now. Those have misses now. Okay. So this is definitely part of the issue. And I wonder, because I know I reworked the return all shot data function at some point, and maybe I messed up what was getting passed to this. That certainly could have been my issue. Okay, print. Get rid of those two. We need to clean up what I'm looking at here. Release angle print. Yeah, so I just want the release angles map. That is, okay, I don't want that anymore. Let's go up to the miss graphic. Print misses. Okay, reset. All right, misses. Right, long, and disk choice. And so I guess because those do not have a consistent item, they're just not showing one at all. Stop project. Count, max count, fold 0, 0 if less than or equal to 1, yeah. And so the counts for all of those is less than or equal to 1. I'm okay with displaying it that way. Yeah. Okay, so we fixed miss graphics. Title at the top. I did want to add that. I expected to get through more of these graphics today. I have notes for all of these. This one has taken longer than I thought. I do feel like lately, I used to feel really productive when I did these videos, and I feel like I've just been lazy during them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going for shorter periods of time, but I have not been. Doesn't feel like I've done much in this video. We've been going for almost an hour already. Okay. Column, children, we've got this size box. Above, this is for each one though. Widget, wrap, children. So instead, I think I want to refactor the wrap. We're going to throw that in a column. Main axis alignment, center. I need text. Yeah, we're gonna go release angles. Sure, you can throw the style in there, that's fine. Just throw that up there, all nice. Give me a little buffer, a little more so even. Okay. Let's go font. 30. 40. Okay. Added a little title. I did want to update fonts throughout, so let's go just everywhere we got text here. Clearly going to get some extra ones. Arc text we will get to. Text here. Style. Comma. Font, family. Lolita. Okay. I need it to be small. Quite small. Because this is not... Phones will be smaller. Overflow, ellipsis. Max lines 1. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a little smaller than I would like. I'm sure instead of fairway, I could do like an icon here. Something to keep in mind. I wonder if there's a, like if I do road. We've got adding roads, but no just, you know what, that's fine. Let's roll with it for right now. Yeah, just to let me make this a little bit bigger. A little bit more visible. 3. Real small, just a little bit of space. Let's go arrow upward. Yeah, I like that. That'll be our fairway hit for now. All right, and then let's keep rolling through fonts here. Text angle. Oh, this is the label down below. I was like, what am I looking at? What is angle? It's obviously something. Yeah, and then we're going to make those quite a bit bigger. Lovely. Okay, let's keep it rolling. None of those. Arc text we do want. Context, string text. If text is empty, font size, font family, Lolita. What is that? Lolita. A little tiny. A little bit. I was gonna say, I think I'm passing that in. I'm not gonna get away with making them too much bigger. At least not right now. So let's keep rolling through with the fonts, and then I'll come back to this. Text painter, text span, direction. I was gonna say that should actually probably be it. Let's go 1-0. Where do I start declaring it? Text size. Not here, not there, not there. That's the first time? There's no way. Where do I call Arc Painter at? Arc text. Right here. Oh, it's 11. 11's what I made it. I don't know what, 15 is going to be way too big, right? No, it's actually not. Okay, maybe we try that. 15. I do worry that it's going to not be good on a smaller phone. That's okay. We can roll with that right now. All right. Fonts are all updated. Do I have what I need? I do not. Okay, I guess we will probably call it about there for the day. There was one more thing I was going to do on this widget, but I do not have it with me. And that was just, I had it on a different phone that had already tested it out, and I had some notes just to try to make sure stuff fit. So I wanted to take a quick glance at those. I do use the arrows for the miss, so like this is going to look a little tacky if your typical miss is high. And I use the icon for fairway hit. Let's see what ChatGPT's got for me. It would recommend a golf course. Don't like it. Terrain, I don't think. Grass could be good. Did I have grass? I did. I was like, I think I've used that already. Yeah, I don't hate that right now. Okay, I think that's at least an improvement to what I had previously. Starting to look more like a finished product. Yeah. We will we'll call it there for today. I might hop on and do another video as I'm going through the rest of my notes for the rest of these widgets. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I guess to talk big picture for a second, at this point, I feel like I've been dragging my feet quite a bit on this deep stats feature. And in fairness, I knew that I kind of needed a break after I launched C1x, just because at that point it had been, 4 or 5 months of this being the only real thing that I was working on. This was my main project outside of, obviously, my day job. I wanted a break, but as part of my, initial marketing efforts, I thought that sending it out to pros would be a good idea, and I got a little positive feedback, and some people around Salt Lake thought it was kind of cool, and that got me the motivation to jump back into building this update, just because I knew this was eventually, when I did start coding again, this was the thing I wanted to build, was this deep stats feature. I intended to take quite a long break. That break ended up lasting about 5 days. And I don't know, burnt out is not the right word, but I'm ready to not have like an app be a focus of mine constantly. So I've been trying to I've been dragging my feet, and now over the past, few days, I've been trying to rep out this deep stats feature. Not necessarily to get it to the point where it's like 100% production ready, but I want it to get to the point where I can start to send it out to people for testing. With the hope that once it gets to that point, I can finally call timeout for maybe a couple weeks at least. And ultimately, there's still a lot of work that I want to do, but in terms of getting a test version ready, like this is close. There's some subtle appearance changes I want to make, but like functionality wise, this is it. It's like this works. I could spend a day, one video, making it look better, but after that one day, it's ready to go out. And then the only other thing is this. I don't even have to include it in the all stats view right now. Like this can just stay as normal stats for the time being. It would not be hard for me to incorporate this the same way that I did in the all stats view, but ultimately, like I have the maps, this data, I know all of this one I want to double check, but I believe that all of this is pulling together accurately. These are new and obviously need some work, but long-winded. Once I finish the appearance of these graphics here to get them to look not perfect, but this level of decent, it's ready. It's ready to go out. My hope is that this is like 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks of work. That would take us up to, about a week before Christmas. And that would be a great time for me to not focus on this. That would be swell. So that's my goal. My goal is over the next couple of weeks to rep this out. I'm sure I will do at least one more video in that time frame. And then to try to push it out to some testers. I don't have that many. There's really a few people that I'm excited to have look at this. I'm hoping maybe they spread it a little bit, but on the off chance anyone's watching this and you're like, man, I would love to help test this and have an impact on what development looks like moving forward, I would love to have you. So you should let me know. You can leave a comment down below or reach out to C1x on Instagram or whatever else, but yeah. Ultimately, my hope is this becomes a tool for, casual to lower professional disc golfers like myself to use. Occasionally, maybe just during tournament rounds, maybe all the time if you're really into stats, just as a tool to help kind of guide improvement. But I'm also really excited about maybe getting some touring pros to use this feature as well, even if they just have their caddies do it for them as they're playing around, even if they just use it during their practice rounds. Trying to make it a tool that can get some usage at the top level. And so the hope is that I can get it done before next season, which is probably about 2.5 months away. So that's the game plan. We'll get this stuff to look pretty. Obviously, these look terrible right now. These are okay. This one I need to go through, obviously, and change the font and everything, which I will add to my list right now. Let's do this. Let's go shut. I also have one more graphic I want to add. I think it'd be really cool. Update fonts. Making notes to myself here. Yeah, okay. Make some subtle improvements to this one, but this looks pretty good. This one I have not gone through both of these really, but I do already kind of Like the way they look right now gets me a little bit excited. I think they're already kind of cool. These ones are going to be really cool as well once I get them looking the way they should. And this one is still going to try and make it look interesting, but more so going to be like the summary at the end. Here's your breakdown. So anyways, we will call it there for today. Hopefully I'll be back again soon to keep repping out these graphics. But yeah, if anyone happens to find this after the fact, thanks for watching. And maybe we'll see you in the next one.